Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Dr. Meghana Dikshit. I'm the author of the book You Matter, an Ayurvedic doctor and brain and performance expert. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe and hit the bell icon because you are in for a treat for amazing videos which can help you to hack your brain, which can help you to hack your growth, and which can help you to be more successful in every area of your life. So let's begin. Today's topic is healing anger towards your parents. A lot of you have been asking me this question: how do I get over the anger that I feel towards my parents? And you know what? There is nothing wrong in feeling angry towards your parents, because most of us may not share it or express it that you have that anger, but most of us are harboring the anger towards parents. So parent and child is such a relationship where if you say that I'm angry with my parents, it's somewhere in the society not accepted. And there's a reason a lot of people do not say these words or do not express it, explicitly, that they are angry towards their parents. And why not? The society looks at it this way, that you're born to someone and these are the two people, those who raised you, in whatever circumstances they were in and whatever challenges that they faced, whatever their definition of love was, at the end, every parent wants to love their child. Now, there is no particular manual to raise a child or to love a child. The way your parents loved you may not be the manual that you wanted to experience, and maybe in your perception you felt that this was not okay, this could have been better. You can only understand the love or how they raised you retrospectively, or when you look around in your life along with your friends or maybe your neighbors, etc. That's the time you understand whether your parents did the justice raising you or they did not. Now, all of the feelings that you have about your parents, there will always be love and there possibly will be anger. I'm not going to use the word rage or hate here, but there are few people, those who literally feel hatred towards their parents because the way they were raised, the way they were probably criticized, bullied, or emotionally neglected or abused is unpardonable somewhere, and also unacceptable. That you somewhere, I have seen people asking this question that, but how could my parent do this to me? So I don't know if you're someone like that who question yourself, or you know someone who's constantly questioning like that, maybe you can send this video to them. And if you're ready to overcome your anger towards your parents, I want you to type ready in the chat box so that we can quickly begin with our list of ways we can deal with this anger and overcome them. So if you're ready, type ready in the chat box and let's begin. So the step one is, first, what you need to do is you need to acknowledge and validate your feelings. Type acknowledge in the chat box and let me know you got this step. So let me explain you why it is important to acknowledge and validate what you're feeling. As I said, a lot of times society does not encourage or accept when you express your anger towards your parents. Generally, you're labeled as not a good child or not a good son, daughter, whatever it is. But if you neglect your parents, or if you don't reach out to them, or if you do not speak well with them, whatever is your feeling and your expression that is coming out, you're labeled as a bad child. That's the reason a lot of times we do not want to acknowledge how we are feeling. Now see, anything can be healed. Any trauma, any experience, any feeling that you have can be healed and overcome. But if you do not acknowledge and if you keep negating it again and again, it's not going to help you. So if you're feeling angry, say, yes, I'm feeling angry. I'm angry towards my father. I'm angry towards my mother. I'm angry. It's okay to be angry. So first acknowledge and validate and be okay with it. Accept that you're angry rather than pushing it under the carpet. The second step is what you need to understand is the anger is normal reaction. It's not something that you're committing a sin by getting angry. Let's normalize feeling angry towards your parents. Type I'm angry with my parents if you are in the chat box, and let's see how many people are actually expressing their anger towards their parents here. It's okay, it's a safe place. You are here on this channel and you're here with me for many days now, and you know it's a safe place. Nobody's judging you for it. So just accept it and just put it out there and say, yes, I'm angry. The second step, once you acknowledge that you're angry, now it is important for you to know what is the root cause of it. Where is it coming from? So you may go down the memory lane to see What are some of the past experiences that you felt that anger or that resentment? Where are you feeling that regret in your life for not able to do what you wanted to do? See, a lot of times, when you are a child or when you're a teenager, and the worst word that we want to listen from our parents is the word no, right? We don't want them to say no to us. And these no's that you have heard in your life probably are causing that resentment and regret in your life, that I wish if I would have done this, my life would have been different. And those regrets and resentments that are then mounting to that anger or that, hatred towards your parent, that, they never allowed me to do what I wanted to do. They never supported me in my endeavors. I wish if I had different set of parents, I would have been somewhere else today. Or there could be some physical, emotional abuse that you experienced in your life. It's extremely essential that you understand what is the root cause, where it is coming from. Were you parenting your parents because your parents were emotionally immature? Were you punching back for them when they were upset and angry? What exactly happened in your life? Or were they critical or cynical about everything that you did? Were they expecting a lot more from you than what you could deliver? Did you feel that you're not loved enough unless you have proved yourself to be a worthy child? What is that pattern that you experienced as a child? Let me know in the chat box, and I would like to do a specific video on specific detailed patterns where probably you experienced certain things in your life on a repetitive basis, and now they have become part of your reality, and it's very difficult for you to overcome that reality. So once you understand the root cause, I want you to take a deep breath and realize that your parents are not gods. Your parents are human beings and they are imperfect. As much as you and I are imperfect, they are also imperfect. And unfortunately, nobody teaches parents how to raise a child. There is not specific manual that a parent has to study or give an exam to pass before producing the child in this world. That would have been a great idea, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Now your parents have their own burdens and their own past history. The way your grandparents raised your parents, the way great-grandparents raised grandparents. So there is a history behind your parents' behavior. And both, your mother and your father, they both come from a different lineage of a different history. So sometimes when two people come together and when they have their own past that they have not healed, it becomes very dysfunctional. And when it becomes very dysfunctional, you experience that the way they treat you comes across as you're not important enough or you're used for certain reasons. So the third step and the most important one, once you know that your parents are imperfect, you need to empathize and be compassionate towards them. Put yourself in their shoes and think about it. Like I'll tell you something. I have been angry with my father for a very long time because I always felt that my father was overly critical about everything that I did. Even though I was kind of like an above average achiever in my life, but my father was never happy. Every time I came back with some certificate or some medal, my father would give me an example of someone who's done better than me. And for all my life, I felt that I kept proving to my father that I'm worthy of his love and his appreciation. Every child wants love and appreciation from their parents. For a very long time, I couldn't understand that why my father behaves the way he behaves. It's only in the recent last 10, 12 years I realized that when I started healing my wounds, I started realizing that my father had a history. He had experienced criticism and he had experienced a lot of difficulty while he was growing up. And for him, the world was not a good place to live. So out of love, he was preparing his daughter to go into the world and be a warrior, not feel rejected or not feel hurt by other people. So what he was trying to do is he wanted to protect me from the outside world. So he was preparing at home by creating a very critical environment for me. But it's only when I started healing myself, I started realizing that why he was doing it. After that, I went ahead and I spoke to my father and I said thank you to him. I said, thank you that you prepared me for the world outside. But you know what? My experience of the world is very different than your experience from the world. Yes, earlier I did feel the world is a hostile place. I did feel that world is not safe place, and I operated on that pattern because that's what I learned from you. But today when I'm in the journey of healing, I realize that the world is a good place. There are amazing people and there are supportive people. People help you if you ask for help. So when I had this conversation with my father, it was a game changer in relationship with him. So your fourth step is to have that deeper conversation with your parents. And I understand a lot of times it takes a lot of courage to really go ahead and speak to your parent. So I'm not going to ask you to do it immediately, because when you are healing yourself, it's a journey, and sometimes that anger may come out in a wrong way, and maybe you will further deteriorate the relationship that you already have with your parents. So my suggestion is, what you can do is, like what I do right now. I have lost both my parents. They're not in the physical world, but spiritually I'm still connected with them. Energetically I'm still connected with them. I'm always going to be their little daughter. So every single morning when I wake up, I take a notebook and I start writing letters to my parents. Whatever it is, like I share the whole day that has happened. What happened yesterday, what did I get to do, what did I not get to do, what are my goals, what were on my to-do list, what were my experiences. Every single day I write letters separately to my mother and separately to my father. And then I share with them that what I want to accomplish through the day. This is how I build my bond still with my parents. I'll tell you why it is important. And I have given this, technique to so many of my students, and they have experienced miraculous benefits in their life. The reason I tell you to do this activity is because your DNA is made up of 50% by your mother and 50% by your father. Now, if you're upset with one parent, imagine you're only operating on 50% of the DNA. And that's why you're producing 50% of the results, isn't it? So to heal your relationship with them, you're actually healing your DNA, the impact that you have had on your life. So very important that if you cannot really express how you feel with your parents, if you feel that they're not ready to listen to you, or if you feel that you're still very angry and maybe your talk will be very venomous. So it's very simple that take a notebook and start writing letter and start expressing what happened as a child. How are you feeling right now? How angry you are. You can also say what a horrible person your parent is. You're not expressing it directly to them, but you are doing this activity every single day. If you're ready to do this activity, please type in the chat box letter in the chat, in a comment section. Let me see if you're going to write this letter. And you know what? It may, you may get the benefit in just writing one letter. But I was so angry with my father that it took me 13 letters and I did not post them. I just kept writing and writing and writing that how I felt in various occasions, various incidents, with my father and his conversations with me. Now remember this. My father is a hero for me because he taught me so many things. He was an extremely wise and well-read man. He was, he had knowledge about various topics and subjects across the world. And I have learned a lot from my father. So as much as I've loved my father, there was also a lot of anger towards my father. So for me to operate fully on my potential, it was necessary for me to heal my relationship with my father. Now see, you're not here to change your parents. Please understand that. You're here to change yourself. So when you change yourself, you change people around you. Automatically, you don't have to do any efforts. It happens involuntarily. Because there is no trigger from your side. It's always cause and effect, right? There is a trigger and there is a consequence. So you're playing this game both ways. They trigger you, you have a consequences, you trigger them and you have a consequences. So if suppose you stop triggering someone, automatically this person will lose the interest and they will start healing themselves because you have changed now. So this activity of writing a letter to your parent is your personal healing journey. So take this journey and do it for 30 days. If you're going to do it for 30 days, type 30 days in the chat box. It's an extremely powerful and a very, very healing journey. Maybe eventually what you can do is once you write a letter and if you don't post it, that's fine. But what you can do is you can take a copper plate or something or a metal plate. You put that letter in that metal plate and just put it to fire. And just observe that fire. That burning fire will actually help you to heal yourself. heal your trauma, put some balm on the wound. It'll really help you to realize that you're releasing all of your anger through that fire that is burning right in front of you. First step is to set boundaries. In our life, most of the times in our society, we do not have, or we have very fluid boundaries with our parents, our siblings, our children. Setting the boundaries is extremely critical once you become an adult. So it's very important that you understand that you are autonomous, you're grown up, you're an adult. You independently operate in this world. Your parents, your siblings, your children, they are all peripheral. They are not part of your individuality. So to start developing your individuality, you'll have to start developing your boundaries. How much would you like to share? How much would you like to keep to yourself? What would you want as an input from your parent, and communicating it very clearly. Of course, remember, this is a step that comes after you writing those letters or expressing how you feel. You do this step only after you overcome your own anger or you've started that healing for yourself. It's essential that you set boundaries so that you do not allow other people to invade it even in future. You want to create your autonomous life, and that autonomy only comes when you start setting boundaries. For setting boundaries, the first step is to have the clear priorities and clear goals. Once you have your clear priorities and your clear goals, that's the only time you'll be able to say no to the people in your life. It's extremely essential that you know that you're a grown-up adult. You're no more a people-pleasing child. And that's where you'll have to learn to say no. Now, after doing all of this also, if you still are harboring resentment and anger towards your parents, the sixth step is to find a professional who can help you to deal with this anger constructively. You need to work on this. As I said, that your DNA is made up of your mother and father's DNA. Any one parent you're upset and angry with, you're operating on the half. Or if you're upset with both, then you're operating on, 10%, 15% of your potential. And you don't want that. So this entire journey of forgiving your parents, healing yourself, is for yourself, is not for them. And if you need my help in this, there's a link posted in the chat box of my masterclass, which I'm going to give you complimentary because you watched this video till now. And also you can, go ahead and on Amazon, you can buy my book to read How You Matter. The book's name is You Matter. You can actually work on your healing journey through this book. And if this video really helped you, maybe you can share it with 10 more people, because today in the world, we need more healed people. Remember one thing, hurt people hurt people. So if your parents hurt you, then they hurt you because they are hurt. And healed people heal people. So you don't want to be that child or that parent eventually who wants to hurt your children. So you need to understand that hurt people hurt people. This will help you to forgive your parents. Healed people heal people. It will help you to heal yourself. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment and share it with 10 more people. I will see you soon.